This month is unique because normally I just post a video and an article, but I wanted to write the article and I was like, you know what, this is going to be way easier in video form. So we are going to do it in video form. I have a couple different ideas for how I'm going to do it. But today, the whole goal is to show you how to stop motion. And this is different from shooting portraits using a low shutter speed with the attempts of getting it to have motion blur on the subject. Trying to have camera blur is a little bit different. I'm trying to stop the subject. We're just going to go outside and try some stuff. So we are just going to find a nice place for us to stand in the yard. Okay, so I am gonna start out by lowering my ISO. I think you could do 100 and be fine. I am going to lower my shutter speed a 50th of a second, and then I'm gonna set my aperture to try to get this to be correctly exposed. So right now I'm super overexposed. It looks like it needs to be at about f9 at ISO 100 for me to be able to be properly exposed. So those are my settings right now. ISO 100, f9, at a 50th of a second. Now I'm going to show you how I stop motion. The whole reason that this is going to be really complicated with popcorn is because I really need him to go left or right, and he's going to want to come at me. What I'm trying to do is take the picture and match my motion with his motion. So he's going to be running and I'm going to be trying to follow him with my camera. I'm going to get in a little bit closer and get it. So I didn't quite get it, but I think I'm going to make my shutter speed a little bit higher. I think 1/80th of a second would be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and focus. Get it! So I kind of got it there. I think this one would be fine, but I really wish that he was more isolated in the background. Okay, let's do it one more time. Get it! Nope, lesson learned. It is very hard to do this with a dog. So we are gonna practice with the ball. I'm going to F13 and I'm gonna lower my shutter speed because this ball moves way slower than popcorn. I'm gonna roll it. I'm just trying to match the motion of the ball. Some motion in the background, but the ball is staying still. A few of those worked, which makes me really happy. This would also be a lot easier to try with cars. The only thing about this particular thing is that things don't have to be moving that fast for you motion blur. It's actually better if they don't. You're more likely to have more control. You just really want to make sure that you're moving from right to left or left to right, and that's also the direction that your subjects are moving in, because otherwise you're not really going to stop them in the frame. And this is a great technique if you're ever shooting anything personal like races, but also it's great for portraits. It's great for any time that somebody wants to incorporate something like an antique car or a motorcycle. It's just something fun and a little bit different, and I really hope you like it. I have one more example. We're going to do this really small scale indoors because the principles are the same no matter what, and you might be able to get a better view of exactly what I'm doing. So say this is our subject. Settings are going to be a lot different than they would be outdoors because I'm indoors and it's darker in here. So right now my settings are 1/40th of a second at f2 at ISO 100. So I'm just going to try to move my camera on the same focus plane as the trajectory of the ball. Focus lock. Since this video is really about showing you a technique that can be used in portraits, I really want to make sure my f-stop is going to be pretty closed down so that way you can see a lot of stuff in the background, because what I really want to show isn't bokeh, it's the motion blur in the background. So I am going to set my shutter speed to a 60th of a second at f8, which means that my ISO needs to go up to 1600. This is my couple and the background is the camera. So I'm just going to take my hand and I'm going to follow my hand as I move. So as my couples are running or they're on their motorcycle, I'm just going to be following them like that. That way you're getting your subjects stopped, but the background is moving. This gives the illusion of things moving faster than they actually are. It's exciting. So when I have subjects going like this in cars or motorcycles, they're going like 5 to 10 miles an hour. Like they are not going very fast at all. And I'm just staying in one place and following them with my camera. And this freezes them and it gives the illusion of more motion than there actually is. I'm sure you see now why this had to be a video. I wanted to thank you guys so much for this recommendation, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.